at Munson, and I'm a yarn dyer by trade. Not a typical profession, but one that I've been making a living at for a while. And I really enjoy it because I enjoy working with color. And I would say that color for me is a kind of a way of finding um, nuance and complexity in the world and then bringing it forward into a sort of material form. When I first started dyeing yarn, I was an archaeologist by trade in an academic setting. And so my days were taken up with a lot of writing and research and speaking and teaching, and everything was about words, which was wonderful, but also kind of exhausting in its own way. And so for me, it was always such a delight to be able to go into the studio and to be able to play with color. Because for me, color is just completely nonverbal and playful and expressive. So I am a color fiend. When I say a color fiend, I guess it's just that I I am just endlessly fascinated with color. And when it comes to yarn dyeing, which is my main practice, I have strong opinions about what kinds of colors I like. I like things to be saturated and strong and complex. But I can also get just as lost in the color out on the Tantramar marshes where the colors can be quite subtle. And it's just this kind of fascination with modifying color and playing with color and creating a kind of a rich color landscape. I do a lot of knitting and I do some knitwear designing, and as a result, I always have lots of scraps. And so I love using the little balls of random leftovers to make pom-poms with because it's a really satisfying way to play with color. And I love using up my little bits and bobs that are left over. When I go to make pom-poms, I love putting out a whole bunch of different colors and then deciding sort of what kind of effect I want to get. And I love making pom-poms because I love color mixing. And this is like a different way of mixing color than what I do with my dye work. With my dye work, I'm mixing colors and they are mingling together in the dye pot, and they're literally mixing and forming something new. And in this case, when I'm making pom-poms, I'm doing sort of optical mixing, which is to say that the colors blend together when your eyes, like when you're looking at them, because they're so close together physically. So what I love to do when I make pom-poms is to choose something that I don't like and to put other things with it to create something that I do. So one of the things that I enjoy about making pom-poms is that you can make them with very minimal materials. And I like holding a lot of colors together because it's fun color-wise. And also because pom-poms take form really quickly then because you're using a lot of threads at once. And what you end up with is a sort of a shaggy friend. But the key to a really great pom-pom, I think, is to trim it. And I like to trim them a lot. There's something inherently cheerful about them. And I really love that, especially in the wintertime when things are kind of gray or if things are sort of gloomy. You can take scrap yarn and you can end up with something that's just absolutely riotous color. And then, yeah, if you want to, you can just do just a little bit more trimming because this one here, see, has gotten a little bit shaggy. So I'm just going to do a little bit more trimming. And I actually find the trimming a huge satisfying part of the whole process. And honestly, even if I didn't have anything specific to do with the pom-poms at the end, I think I would make them just so I could spend some time trimming them because it's so satisfying.